My question is, I'm in perfect health, thankfully, but sometimes I get...
Thankfully meaning?
I thank myself for feeling so good about well-being and
And
allowing it into my life.
Is that what you really meant?
Yes. But sometimes I'll have an impulse to take a vitamin or do something preventive. And I wonder if that's influence of others or if that's my IB prompting me
Doesn't
towards
make
something.
any difference. If the action makes you feel better, it's a good action. In other words, it doesn't matter if someone says you should tie this dead chicken around your neck and carry it with you, and it sounds like a good idea, do it.
Okay. Thank you.
Let's talk about this just for a little bit here, because...
The chicken?
Well, we tried to be as ridiculous as we could be because we're really not wanting you to feel like you need to offer a lot of rituals that do not come naturally in order to maintain your perfect alignment. And the reason that we want to play with you just a little bit further here is because when you said thankfully, we want to be sure that thankfully sounded a little bit like it is my desire and I am somehow accidentally temporarily there, but just to make sure that it lasts longer should there be something that I am doing. And we want you to say, instead of thankfully, we would like you to say naturally. But of course, it is illogical for it to be otherwise. In other words, we want you to just sort of shore up that sense of physical well-being. You can look at the food that you eat or even the supplements that you might take or the exercise that you might offer as all sort of inspiration that comes from within that enhances your sense of well-being. There's a difference between doing something from your place of inspiration and doing something from a place of motivation. And what we mean by that is when you are in alignment with your idea of wellness and you just expect wellness to be yours, you will receive all kinds of inspiration of things that are a vibrational match to that wellness. And that sort of action that it just feels like, but of course, but what a good idea. Oh, that's a good idea. All those things that feel like that, we would encourage you to follow them. Even some food cravings come forth like that. Many of you receive a food craving that you deliberately ignore because you have already condemned that particular food from some previous announcement of the appropriateness of food, even though the cells of your body and the balance of your body is really requesting such and such, you see. So when you really get in the rhythm of well-being, you will find yourself inspired into all kinds of things, not so different from when you're thirsty, you know you want to drink. When you're hungry, you know you want to eat. But there are even more subtle urges that come up that are specifically pointed towards specific things. Your body is like a chemical factory, and you give it the raw ingredients and it produces the combining of food that makes for the chemical composition, so to speak, that gives you the nutrition. And so your body literally could produce whatever it needs from a wide variety of food that you eat. But your body cannot overcome a pattern of thought that is going against it. So when you've convinced yourself that something is inappropriate and then you eat it anyway, there's a contradiction in energy that is hard for your body to overcome because there is an element of resistance that is present, you see. So that's why we say it is always better, once you've made a decision about something, to follow it. When you've decided that this is the sort of food that is good and this is the sort of food that is bad, it's not a good idea to eat the sort of food you've decided is bad. Not because it is bad, but because it causes contradiction within your vibration. Eventually, we would like you to work your way through all food that is appealing to you until you have talked down any resistance, and then you can allow yourself to receive the benefit from anything that you might eat. Your body is very resilient, and you will literally be inspired to the combinations that will serve you best.
Well, that's what I was wondering about. Is a vitamin, by being preventative, does that implying that I feel a vulnerability?
Well, by your calling it preventative, it does. But if you could call it nutritional Or if you could call it convenient, it's a convenient way for me to receive a lot of nutrition without having to specifically eat a lot of different food that might be not easily available. In other words, you can talk yourself into the place of feeling appreciation. When you take a vitamin, if you feel appreciation, look at you, you little bugger. All of that nutrition all packed into one little pill. What a wonderful idea. As opposed to, look at you. If I don't eat you, I could be lacking in whatever you have. Good.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
indeed.
you.
Yes, indeed.